Well, thank you so much. I'm joining you from Kololo here in Kampala, Uganda's capital. And this beautiful morning, we're speaking matters, local tourism. How are Ugandans getting opportunities to go around the country, realize the beauty, so before it's told to the tourists that come to the country? For we know tourism is evolving and a lot is being done to make sure that this country is taken to be one of the destinations sold out there. But this, of course, comes to draw insights back home for what is being done to see that away from selling this country abroad, do Ugandans realize the beauty that this country holds, and do they even find the time to move around and also appreciate the nature and everything that we're trying to do? This beautiful morning, I am joined by one of the female entrepreneurs in the hospitality industry. And to be so specific, this is Madame Laura Kagame, who is the Managing Director for Travel Neza. Thank you so much for joining me on NTV.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for having me.
How is the industry first?
Well, it's doing well. It's an ever-growing industry. Travel, apart from what happened with COVID, will never ever be on the decline. It will always.
Are Ugandans moving to appreciate the beauty of the country?
More and more now, yes, compared to when I had just started the company. It's now more embraced, definitely. The volumes of Ugandans traveling within Uganda has definitely increased. And yeah, this is thanks to just more advertising and more.
But you are part of the entrepreneurs that have taken lead in promoting Uganda. Yes. Ugandans visiting Uganda. Yeah. And your campaign is how a certain number of Ugandans just getting to see how beautiful this country is. Why do you think this is a concept you've taken on?
For starters, in office, within the company, we've always communicated to our customers that you should have at least traveled to 3 tourist destinations in the country before you go beyond the borders, right? We've always advocated for local travel, because then that way you're able to appreciate the country even more, and holidays, and it's just an easier way to start. You know how Ugandans always feel like travel is expensive? Then at least let your first trip be within the country as you work towards.
Before you want to go to Dubai, you want to go wherever you
first appreciate home,
what the country. Yes. Okay. Tourism is taken to be for the foreigners, and that's what I wanted you to talk about. It's taken to be for the whites. For you to be a tourist, you must be a white. You must be, you know, driving in a Land Cruiser, Muzungu, or something like that. But what's the perception for the Ugandans you're interacting with to see that they also take part in the travel?
Well, it was like that for a while, but now there have been so many domestic tourism campaigns that have actually improved that. For Travel Neza in particular, we made a commitment to sell holidays, both local and outbound, to the Ugandan. Like for us, the Ugandan is our customer. We don't bring tourists in, we don't do any of that. We sell holidays to Ugandans, both local and abroad. So when it comes to local, what we found that helped is we curate, like we've made it easy. We create packages, all-inclusive packages that include transport, the accommodation, the activities while they're there. Put it out there. Let's say, for example, 750,000 for a 3-night holiday in Fort Portal, and then we give Ugandans the opportunity to pay in monthly installments.
Okay, are you trying to say that if I am to travel, let's say this is April, if I'm traveling in August, I can keep depositing money in bits, so that by August I've made my 750 and I can go to Queen Elizabeth.
And without touching your wallet, because everything will have been paid. And you know, when you're not touching your wallet during holiday, it feels so affordable and stress-free and like a holiday. So one of the things we did, you know, so we came in solving accessibility. Just where is this information? Where can I go on holiday? So a very clear website, but also very well curated, all-inclusive packages, right? Well explained and everything. Then making them affordable by enabling people to pay in installments, putting out these holidays early, and just making it easy. So we actually come up with a calendar We call that's under the NEZA Club. These are the group holidays. And so every month we'll have like a particular destination. Let's say June, Kidepo, this and that. So someone is able to look at this calendar and choose. Say, for example, this year, okay, I've not done Kidepo. Let me do Kidepo in November. And we always release these a year in advance. So someone is able to then divide that 850.
Madam Laura, let me just jump in a bit. I think when you're talking about somebody having to pay money in installments, now you're also talking about the concept of people learning to save.
Yes.
Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes, and so in fact, to make it even more seamless and leverage on tech, we created the NEZA wallet. So this is very easy to get to on our website, travelneza.com/the NEZA wallet, and you're able to transfer money on a monthly basis from your mobile money, your bank.
My
so
account.
We have quite a number of clients who actually have standing debit orders. Like they've made a decision, they're going to travel every year. So even before you have decided on what destination, you just start putting money aside from as low as 50K, you know, because if you're putting 50K for 12 months, how much is that? You can at least go on a trip to Fort, to Queen, to within the country, basically, or a deposit to wherever you want to go. At least it's better. So through these initiatives, we've been able to develop that saving culture, forcing Ugandans to stop being so last minute and start planning for their trips. Many of them think that travel is expensive because they try to book it last minute.
Yeah, you're paying a bunch of money once and then...
Right? First of all, paying in a lump sum is difficult. It's expensive. But two, if you're paying for something last minute, it's going to be more expensive because it will have doubled in price because maybe there's just a few rooms left or a few seats left on a flight, etc., you know? So that's why they find it very expensive.
Okay. So away from selling a trip for somebody to travel, what local content else you sell in the hotels, the lodges where these people are going? I'm basically also seeing that some of the local foods being, you know, grown here, made here, the eshawe, we have the malewa from my side. I can go to Queen Elizabeth at the Travel Neza, then I can have a local dish there. I don't know if, do you have malewa that side?
No.
And I'm just speaking about local food. It can be a shawe, it can be but seeing that local food is also prioritized in having people to also test.
So local food, local experiences, all that. I remember one of our, in Queen Elizabeth, one of the activities that we include is, you know, the local brew making, right? Where you can actually see how they mash the bananas and put it under. And so all those local experiences are included. In Kavale, right? A lot of the Bunyonyi trips, we actually take people on a trip to make, on a whole tour of making tonto and bushera and all that, right? So we do include those experiences a lot, and people have become very curious about it, especially because of how we leverage content. We're able to show all these videos and explain that, and people are just looking for more depth now, like more depth than just go on a boat ride and then, you know, but there has to be more attached to the place. Like, how have you immersed yourself in the culture of that place to feel like you actually visited Kavali?
And also, as we went up the conversation, also, you are just a few people that are appreciating and advocating that Ugandans also need to be encouraged to visit their own country. But I know the efforts may have started here in Kampala, but I'm also looking at the multiplier factor of having this information reach to places as far as Bududa, where I come from, and my mother can also be told that she can come and go to Kavali for a short time. The multiplier factor of this information, yes.
Yeah. The ripple effect, you see, that's why domestic tourism is very important, because then you have more and more people talking about travel, right? And so we all become brand ambassadors of our country's tourism, which has been lacking quite a bit. In fact, we're all filled with very negative information as a country. But that's beginning to change now. I actually saw the change happening during COVID, when we were forced, when the borders were closed, and now people started to actually discover Uganda. And the demand has really increased since then, and it hasn't gone down since. Now, a lot of the lodges can attest to having more Ugandans than they did before. So it is.
I just want to pick your last words in the conversation. My producer says we've run out of time. On what should be done, you think, maybe from the stakeholders, you know, perspective, government do to make sure your campaign is not only for you. Other people can join you to raise their voices, encourage Ugandans to travel. Maybe in about a minute as we wind up the conversation.
No, just more initiatives to promote domestic tourism, to negotiate with a lot of the lodges to have special rates for Ugandans as opposed to the usual ones that they have, to encourage them to quote more in Uganda shillings and less in dollars. At our lodge in Queen Elizabeth, we actually quote in Uganda shillings for the Ugandan.
I was going to ask about that. You go to the websites that you want to find travel companies, all the money is in dollars. Not until you have to have information to convert and see how much you have to be, I mean, in the local currency.
It really distances the Ugandan from, you know, they just don't take ownership of it and feel like it's theirs.
I want to thank you for that initiative, and may you continue spreading the information and encourage Ugandans to travel to these places.
Thank you.
Madam Laura, I want to thank you so much for having your time to speak to us.
Thank you. Thank you too.
Well, Madam Laura Kagame is the Managing Director for Travaneza, just giving us insights on how the local tourism is turning out to be one of the outstandings for the country, given the fact that it's an industry which is still growing. We also feel that as we go in for a weekend, Ugandans should travel, visit some of these places and appreciate the beauty of what this country holds. For time reasons, allow me to let the conversation back to the studios. Good morning to our audience.